On a windy late April evening, it's a season series finale showdown at the Shipyard as the Nimitz Vikings play host to the Cardinals of MacArthur. Hello again, everybody. John Nelson along with Rob Willman, and this should be a dandy. Playoff implications all over the place in the last week of the regular season. Nimitz overall with a 13-14-1 record. South is your district champion, and you see the log jam with 6 teams involved. Cedar Hill, Nimitz, Mac, Irving, even Grand Prairie in the mix in the last week of the regular season. Duncanville with an outside shot. One thing for sure, Nimitz, if they split their series with Mac, they're in regardless, so they would make it to postseason for the 4th consecutive year. On the hill tonight for the Vikings is junior Jacob Castro. Jacob with a record of 4-2, and you see his season numbers, an ERA of 2.10, making his 9th start of the year. Jacob Castro, one of 7 juniors. It is senior night. They honored 6 seniors a couple of minutes ago here at the Shipyard. Very, very windy, blowing in at about 30 miles an hour. It's 310 to left, it's 300 to right field, and they have that 35-foot high screen in right field. Into dead center, it's 385. So here's a lineup that Castro will face tonight. Boren, Marufo, and Griffin, numbers 1, 2, 3. The middle of the order, Horn, Torres, and Sanchez. And hitting 7, 8, and 9 is Salas, Franco, and Hernandez. Mac brings a team batting average of 279 into this district contest tonight. Nimitz on the year with a pretty decent staff ERA of 2.65, and it's up to junior Jacob Castro tonight. In with the play-by-play, Rob Willman.
All right, Ricky Boren, the second baseman, wearing number 3, will lead things off against Castro. Hits the very first pitch, right up the middle. And let's see, wait a minute, no pitch called. We're going to go back to the drawing board. The umpire warning some of the players for MacArthur to get away from the field at sea. He's going to have to go back, and we're going to reload. Marufo will have to go back on deck, and Ricky Boren will have to bat again. Right in the process, the field umpire was trying to get the players behind the fence, behind the dugout a little bit, maybe too many out on the field, and that cost Boren a base hit on the very first pitch. So Castro breathes a sigh of relief just for a little bit there. And now here's the official first pitch, in which is fouled off to the right side. Ross in pursuit. Well, that will go into the little warm-up area down the right field line here at the Shipyard. As John was saying, a windy, a breezy night. Last time we were here against the Irving Tigers, the wind predominantly would blow from left to right. Tonight, just a little stronger, straight in from center field. In fact, today, first day I heard on the weather report that there was actually a wind advisory, not just area lakes, just an advisory period. Most of that out in East Texas, but still very breezy throughout the day. And that ball was fouled back, and it's 0-2.
81.
Yeah, 81 degrees. It feels nice. The wind makes it feel a lot better than 81. We will take it. Next pitch is a fastball low in the dirt, backhanded by Martinez. And the count is at 1-2. For Boren, comes in batting .346 in district play. Only a couple of RBIs, but that's usually the norm when you're a leadoff hitter. Your job's to get on. He's not going to do it this time, as the first strikeout of the night is the leadoff batter. Good thing about Castro that I noticed in his stats, at least in district play, he's only hit one batter, or hit a couple of batters. And overall, the team has hit 13 just in district play, so control somewhat of an issue as Andres Marufo, the third baseman, steps in.
And Jacob wastes no time at all.
Ball is hit high to right field. The wind's probably going to hold this one up. Vegan is underneath it, and there are 2 down.
Well, a base hit taken away from Ricky Boren, and a strikeout victim for Castro, then a deep fly ball to right field. And the thing about Jacob, he's all around the plate, works quick, and pretty decent with a record of 4-2 this year on a team that's in the battle of this district race.
Griffin swings at the first pitch, which was low and away, got him to go after a bad pitch. And so far here in the top of the first inning, Castro's been able to work ahead of the count every time. Here he is delivering it once again. and that's low and in the dirt. Griffin, close to 360 in district play, 16 RBIs, leads his team in the district. Horn is second with 15 RBIs. That's a fastball high, and one of the few times he's behind on the count. 2 balls and a strike. It was senior night. The 6 seniors and one of the trainers all introduced with their family before the ball game. Ground ball to short. Garcia can't get to it. A mishandle. Got to be an E6. And Griffin is on board. I guess it's a good time to talk about Brendan Williams, John, as we learned about the fact that he's out for the year.
Hurt his left knee in this last district contest, I believe, with Duncanville, and is out for the year. He's undergoing rehab treatment and should be back in July, but that necessitated some shifting in the defensive alignment for Nimitz. Castro is usually the catcher. Garcia is usually the second baseman.
Next batter is Levi Horn, the cleanup hitter. A little curveball in the dirt. And it's 1-0. I was listening to the coaches before the game, and there he is to the
Cedar
right.
Hill
Williams.
It was, hurt against Cedar Hill. Yeah.
Lance Freeman, the junior varsity coach, said it's like getting your knee hurt in a car accident. That's how the force was on his knee. It wasn't like he was exploding with a throw or anything. It just like your knee hits an object and you can't move. That is a strike called on the outside corner, just one of those freak things.
Yeah, it's kind of a good news, bad news. You don't want to be hurt, but it's a short rehab process instead of a torn ACL, which would require months and months.
And you know, baseball, it's like a 24/7, 12-month out of the year sport. Counting even at 1-1. Again, Griffin at first. Another breaking ball misses its mark a little bit, and I noticed a little bit here as Castro is slowing down just a little bit. Either he's slowing down or the batters are getting out of the box in between pitches, forcing the rhythm of Castro to change a little bit. At least that's what Horn is doing. And the number 4 spot, curveball outside, missed for a strike. The throw down way off the mark, but they get him anyway. Well, a late jump by Griffin. Matthew Martinez with the toss to the right field side of the bag. Garcia was able to come across and make the tag in plenty of time.
Throwing into the wind, that sailed, as you said, Rob, to the left of second base with a nice tag on the back by Cruz. And the Cardinals are retired.
So a break there on the base hit that wasn't. And the inning ends up being 3 up and 3 down as Alan Somwang's bunch come to the plate here in the first inning. And their first chance and opportunity to see what they can do. In a game which really, I mean, it's not a must-win. I mean, they've got an opportunity later this week as they play Nimitz, or they play MacArthur once again, but they can put everything behind them with the win tonight.
And if you're Nimitz, you want to hold serve. You don't want to be any worse than 7-6 heading into that second contest over at Mac on Friday.
There's Alan Griffin. You see his numbers. Nice ERA of 1.934. Has hit 8 batters. In fact, there are 3 pitchers on this staff that have hit at least 8 batters throughout the season.
So don't crowd the plate?
Don't.
And the batting order tonight for the Nimitz Vikings, Garcia, Martinez, and Castro. Ross, Martinez, and Mascarnik in the middle. And in the bottom third, McDuffie, Vegan, and Nego. Vikings hitting collectively at .263 on the year, averaging right at 7 runs a game. From corner to corner for the Cardinals, it's Sanchez, Boren, Salas, and Marufo. The outfield from left to right, Franco, Kinser, and Horn. Junior Torres behind the dish, and Alan Griffin on the hill with a record of 2-5.
He has struck out 35, walked 20. Again with that ERA of under 2. Oh, so nice. Kind of a benchmark there, I think. Keep it under 2. You've got a nice little ERA to your name. Saul Garcia, the shortstop, leading things off. Nimitz in their white uniforms tonight. The white helmets. Garcia moved to short because of that injury to Williams. That's a strike called on the outside corner.
Making his 10th start of the year.
Grounder to short. Salas. Rocket shot to first, one down. Got a gun over there at short. Last time we saw these MacArthur Cardinals, they were playing the Irving Tigers over at the Yard in Irving. Lost a heartbreaking 1-0 game. They, at times, kind of ran themselves out of innings because once they get on the bases, just like we saw in the first inning, John, they like to run.
Looking at their numbers, it bears watching, especially tonight.
Alex Martinez, with an unusual look there in the box. Looks at a called strike. He likes to have that left leg a little off center, then he'll center it up right before the pitch. Take a look at him right there, the left leg, and then right when the pitch is tossed, he squares up, fouls that one off. He's behind on the count, 0-2. 1 for 3 for Martinez when we saw him against Irving a couple of weeks ago here on ICTN. Game, they scored 5 runs in the 4th inning that turned the tide in that game as they fell behind early in the game 2-0.
Alan Somwong in year number 2 replaced Robert Mendoza, a Nimitz grad, all district back in 03 here at Nimitz.
Yeah, that's taking one the hard way. So that is the 9th batter hit by a pitch by Griffin in district play. And he's at first.
Now batting the pitcher, Jacob Castro.
So Castro steps into the platter, batting 3rd this week because of the rearrangement with Williams and company. In district play, not one player in double figures RBI-wise, and only 1 home run, and that was Brandon Ross. He will be up next. Castro doesn't get into a double play. That one awfully close to hitting him. It goes right past the catcher, Torres. And down to second is Alex Martinez. Boy, took a lot of guts by Castro not to back away from that pitch.
Stood his ground. It'll be a pass ball on Torres, and Alex Martinez now in scoring position.
1 down. Martinez there on your screen with a 3 or 4. Take off. There's a high hopper to third. Marufu they're going to get Martinez in a rundown. Going to change hands 2 or 3 times, and Marufu and the company get the put out. It allows Castro with the fielder's choice to go all the way to second. Man, that's like a 5 to 6 to 5 to, there's about 5 different guys that touch the ball, but nonetheless, it's a put out.
Yeah, the second baseman, the shortstop, the third baseman, all involved, and Alex breaking towards third is hung out to dry right here, and in the background, Castro will move up to second base.
5-4, 6-4, I believe.
Close enough.
Bring up the cleanup hitter, Ross. Ross looks at a called strike. Ross with 6 RBIs in district play, 1 homer. Great district batting average of over 400, and was 2 for 3 against Irving when we had him a couple of weeks back. Curveball misses the inside part of the plate, and we're even at 1 apiece. Field looks in pretty decent shape. Last time we were here, we had a lot of rain the night before. That outfield might have been a little soggy, but by and large, tonight everything looks great. Great night for a game as far as temperature-wise.
It's just the wind, and you can hear how hard it's blowing.
Sounds like an organ, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But yeah, the field was dragged. It's watered. It was well taken care of at about 5 o'clock. Perfect tonight.
Kinzer, the center fielder, with a lot of room behind him. And Ross has seen a couple of pitches, and this one, he looks inside as another breaking ball doesn't break for Griffin, who kind of put his arms up in disgust after that last pitch. Second baseman Bourne shading a little bit toward the bag. Had a shot of him on that last angle behind home plate. And there he goes to make his move, and he gets back just in time. Castro does.
Good throw, and Boren right on top of the bag.
Really good toss by Griffin, the pitcher. Just a tad too late. Ball bounces and gets away from Torres, so easily down to third is Castro. And with just one out, a situation, or two outs, excuse me, any type of faux pas, doesn't have to get out of the infield, could bring home Castro.
Be a wild pitch, that one about 3 feet in front of home, off of the chest protector and off the bottom of the mask of Torres.
Thing broke right about where the grass ends and the dirt begins. That's a called strike on the outside corner. And tough for Ross. That was just a good pitch. And the count is full again here at the Shipyard. They do have a pitch count. They have one of the newer scoreboards out in left field. Grounded back to the pitcher. Griffin, a little soft toss to first. Sanchez makes the catch. Inning is over. No damage done. Hit batter, a fielder's choice. All sorts of calamity taking place, but no runs. And we go to the top of the second with no score.
Yeah, the Cardinals coming off a 4-3 win last week over Duncanville. Mac opened up district play this year, winning 4 of their first 7 games. So Coach Ryan Kanon, in year number 4, he's taken the Cards to postseason the last 2 years. That's a schedule, the district schedule this year for the Cards. Again, South Grand Prairie, your district champions, as of this game, still unbeaten at 12-0. Nimitz coming off a 15-3 win over DeSoto. And like the Cards, Nimitz started strong in district. The Vikings opened up winning 4 of their first 6 district contests. And that's the numbers so far for the Vikings in district.
Yeah, good bounce back indeed, John, considering Nimitz had dropped at one time 6 in a row in non-district play. And then after that, they kind of started playing 500 ball and winning the games you're supposed to win in district play. Whereas on the other side of the coin, MacArthur never lost more than 3. It was 2 for most of the season. They lost to Joshua right before district. They had to open up against the Warriors, of course. South at this point, they've beaten everyone they've played in district play, so you're going to lose 2 against them regardless. But never swept since then. Bouncing back against Irving after we saw him play, about 3 weeks ago. So Horn will pick things back up here in the top of the second. Looks at a called strike by Castro. Castro led the game off with a strikeout after giving up a base hit, and they had to call it back. That's in the dirt, and the count is even at 1 apiece. Popped straight up and out of play. DeSoto in the news of late about the future of their football coach. Just won a state championship, and then now there's rumors of his ousting.
Is he in or is he out?
I don't know. We'll probably know by the time this airs. The 0-2 pitch. Oh boy, just got enough of that to stay alive. DeSoto, maybe they're replacing Duncanville as the city of champions, huh?
I think they've kind of taken that mantle over, and that is the case now.
Everything but baseball.
Mm-hmm.
The boys only winning, 1 game all season. Nothing in district. Fastball swung on a miss. Horn goes down. Second strikeout for Castro in the game.
And on the year, strikeout number 38 comes in again with an ERA of 2.10. Now working his 48th inning.
Junior Torres with the .302 batting average in district play. Fastball is in the dirt. He leads the team in district with walks with 13. Patient for the number 5 hitter. Sanchez on deck. Fastball just a little high and away. So, John, you've already been to a few Ranger games this year, huh?
I have 7 or 8, and then a full schedule beginning in May.
That ball is fouled away.
Seen the reserves, seen the starters, seen them come and go. First 4 weeks of the season.
Well, they're showing some life after looking a little lethargic to start the season. That ball is bounced in the dirt and bounced away. And Castro is 1 pitch shy of giving up his first walk here at the ball game. When these two teams play, we always have pretty much a competitive ball game. That is ball low. So he does give up his first walk. Second base runner of the night. And Eduardo Sanchez, the first baseman, steps in, batting about 303. You talked about batting average, this MacArthur team. You told us earlier they were batting 280, you know, not bad.
Look, the first 5 hitters over 300 despite a 13-13 record.
Marcus Hudson, your courtesy runner.
Marcus, a senior, 1 of 5 for the Cards.
They will have the opportunity for their senior night when these two teams play later in the week. Hudson about a 3-step lead over at first. You see it there. Castro's fastball across the plate, but apparently too high.
Cards should be in pretty good shape next year, Rob. 11 juniors, 3 sophomores, and a freshman. So only losing 5. The Vikings losing 6.
Foul down the line right, pushing out of play, didn't even come close, really. Kind of just sliced its way away from the first baseline. Listening to some of the seniors and where they're going to school all over the state. Some going to A&M Commerce, work on their degree. Others wanting to become firefighter, EMT. There's another foul ball and break out another box of baseballs. You see the seniors' numbers around the home plate area. Kind of a cool touch. And now Sanchez falls behind the count 1-2 in an opportunity for Castro. Hit high, hit deep, hit to right. Vegan is there, Camp's underneath it. And there are 2 out. Second time tonight that Vegan has to put out.
Yeah, pretty good play battling the wind, as did Levi Horn have to do earlier. Ross, Cruz, Garcia, and Maskarnik, the infield alignment. The outfield from right to left, Vegan, Martinez, and Nigo. Matthew Martinez behind the plate. And Jacob Castro, the junior, on the hill.
And Salas will step into the box with a runner on and 2 down. Runner moving, hit and run on. Almost got it past the shortstop. It's got a long throw to first, and they got him. Garcia with a nifty play. He was moving to second to cover. Had to go back to his right and then throw a strike to Ross at first.
Well, that certainly helped Castro. Its ball hit, takes a funny hop, and then the readjustment by Garcia gets up. And that throw, a short one-hopper, that's a good call. He was out as Ross there to make the play for the Vikings.
Bang, bang play, and that wins championships, that wins playoff games, because that's what you have to have once you do start playing in postseason is good D.
So what tickets do you have in store for the Rangers season this year?
I have zero. I have zero, none.
Nothing stands out?
Nothing yet.
Their biggest problem, they're getting no production of numbers 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order.
It'd be great to see Beltre finally come back and kind of push all that down a little bit and maybe change the whole complexity of the batting order. Of course, he hasn't played since spring training, so you know that's going to take him a while to get back in the groove.
Dollar hot dog nights. Grilled over 200 of them, so.
Just 200?
Yeah, a little over 200. Almost full house here at the Shipyard.
It is, isn't it?
Martinez.
Oh, you're talking about hot dog night here. I thought you were talking about the Ranger game. Okay, yeah, 200's a lot for here. That would probably feed our crew. If they said, hey, everybody can have free hot dogs, our crew would probably take the
Pushing
200.
it.
Fly ball to center. Kinser didn't have to move much as Martinez flies out to center to start the second inning.
Now batting the third baseman, Greg Mascarnik.
Mascarnik, the third baseman, will now step in, number 18. Still looking for that first base hit, really, haven't we, of this game? That is in the dirt.
Game we did here last year, Rob, about this same time, had that pitching matchup. Talk
Ground
about
ball.
it in a second.
Salas guns it to first.
It was Ross, Jake Lyons
Now batting
for the Cards. Lyons struck out 8, but the Cards lost 4-1. Jake setting all kinds of records now in Weatherford.
Yeah, he's found a home there, hadn't he? He just settled in quite well. McDuffie, the DH, swings at the first pitch. Shortstop coming over, calls everyone else off. Salas is there. And the inning is over just like that. 3 up, 3 down. After 2 complete, no score here at the Shipyard. Back in a moment. No score as the Cardinals and Vikings go at it here in the district battle at the Shipyard. And with the call here in the third is John Nelson.
All right, Rob, it'll be 8-9, and in the top of the order for the Cards, Tanner Franco, the left fielder, leads it off, and Castro's first pitch is low and away. Franco Hernandez, then Ricky Boren. Leg kick, the pitch home is swung on, lined into right field, just out of the reach of Alejandro Cruz. And the Cards collect their first hit of the game. Franco goes the other way. And here's Daniel Hernandez, the designated hitter.
First official base hit of the night.
Yeah. One that we can certainly say is an official in the books. Daniel hitting over 300 at 327. Righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch outside. Sitting for Jacob Kinser, the center fielder tonight.
Remember, John, we talked about how the Cardinals like to run. Keep an eye on Franco over at first.
Not running, this one lined into center field. Martinez will come on, make a two-handed catch about waist high. And back to first goes Franco.
It would have been interesting if Franco was taking off on that like a hit and run to see if Martinez could have thrown him out at first. That was a sinker. That didn't look as routine as I thought it would off the bat for the center fielder, Martinez.
Not much sun left at all. We're in complete shade now at Nimitz, and here's Ricky Boren, who struck out his first time up, having to be called back after what he thought was a base hit to center field.
Does he swing at the first pitch?
He does not. They throw to first, and back in time is Franco.
Would have been a good pitch to swing at.
Yeah, strike one. From dead center field, our shot. Again, the wind still blowing in, maybe not as hard as we had it with the first pitch. Over the top, a high fastball, a swing and a miss. Boren couldn't catch up to it. And Jacob now ahead, 0-2.
That's the thing about this field. no matter how hard the wind blows, it does shift a lot. Dead center, then sometimes it'll push out to right. Maybe get it in that airstream just at the right time. You might get it over that right field fence. I don't think anything's going left field.
Not tonight. It's well below street level, but take a mighty blast to clear the fence tonight. Cards have only hit one home run this year. Time called as Castro has to reset. From the stretch, no look at first. Pitch coming in and outside, and another throw and a save by Ross, or that ball was headed to right field.
That's one of those won't show up in the scorebook category. Ross had to stretch way out into fair territory to keep that one from getting away.
Ricky Bourne came in batting .346, swings. This one is towards right field in the corner in foul territory, about 20 feet off the line. Chad Vegan able to catch up with it. And there's out number 2 as he quickly gets it back into play.
Boy, Chad got a good jump on the ball. The thing kept slicing away from the field. And watch right there, nice stretch with the left arm to grab out number 2. Well done.
About 35 feet off the lines, both in right and left, in which to work with in foul ground. First pitch is up and in to Andres Marufo, who flied out to right. His first time up.
Speaking of right for Vegan, 3 putouts tonight already. We're just in the 3rd. You don't see that too often.
Not in the first 3 innings. High off of the screen.
In fact, we haven't seen a lot of pitches pulled at all tonight in the early go.
Count even at 1 on Marufo. Came in batting .300. It's been a while since Mac has beaten Nimitz. Their last win over Nimitz back in 2012. Castro takes too long, and Marufo calls time.
Nothing but a practice pitch. Second time now that MacArthur batters have called time before Castro could unwind and deliver.
So Jacob set. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed on a ball that looked a little low, and Marufo couldn't hold up. And the count now at 1-2.
Gosh, it was just a couple innings ago, John, we were talking about how quickly Castro worked on the hill.
Modest lead by Franco. Here's a pitch, low and away, a swing and a miss as Marufo chases one away. And Castro records strikeout number 3. For the Cards in the top of the 3rd, no runs on a hit. They strand a runner. We play the middle of the 3rd. No score between the Cards and the Vikings. Nimitz has won the last 8 games in this series, and again, they have a district mark of 7-5. Mac right on their heels at 6-6.
John, you remember the old station, the Zoo, KZEW?
I do.
You know, they're back on the air. Technically, it's on the internet. They've got some of the old guys back together just to, you know, do some pre-recorded stuff. Reiner and the guys that were around back in the day. And George Gamark is leading the charge. Gamark, who was part of The Edge, if you recall, the FM station The Edge, until it went under. And boy, they give Irving's Texas Musicians Museum a lot of airplay. They get a lot of plug here in the city of Irving. So it's good for the city of Irving and good for that particular business. I also noticed the city building another venue for entertainment purposes off 114, I believe. And that's going to have some pretty good acts, comedy acts coming in. So entertainment-wise here in the city, a lot of things happening.
That museum has a lot of Buddy Holly memorabilia. Chad Vegan leads it off. Takes a call strike from Alan Griffin. Marcus Nigo to follow, then Saul Garcia.
I think the Nimitz fans do not agree with that call.
High hop. Boren charges, gloves, throws, and it eludes Sanchez. And Vegan is safe on the throwing error by Ricky Boren.
Give him an E, huh?
Got to it, had to throw cross body style, but we'll take another look at it.
Let's see if you think he would have had him regardless. Let's see. It was a slow roller. Had to come up with it. Yeah, you're right.
Sanchez having to reach right in front of Vegan.
Vegan kind of ducked like he thought it was going to hit his head, but it touched each other a little bit in the crossfire.
Marcus Nigo, the left fielder, bunts one in the air and pushes it foul. That game we did here a month ago between the Vikings and the Tigers, that 5-4 win, it was the bottom of the order that really did the damage for Nimitz. They were 6 of 9 and had 4 RBIs in a 5-4 win over Irving.
Bottom of the order somewhat, though, rearranged, John, since Williams is out. Williams back in, throughout the year was batting third. Now they've moved Castro up. They've moved pretty much Castro and Ross and Martinez all up.
Bunted again in the air and foul just out of the reach of Torres. Yeah, that was a productive night. 6 of 9 and 4 RBIs.
Yeah, the last 2 batters, the ones we're seeing here, both Nigo and Vegan, both did not start and bat in that game we had against Irving. So Sam Wang having to do a little adjusting there.
Shows bunt, pulls it back, and the count at 1-2. Marcus with 10 RBIs this year. No score. We play in the bottom half of the third. The lead by Vegan being held on by Eduardo Sanchez. Griffin, he'll throw and miss outside of the count now at 2-2.
The fence looks to be about at least 10 feet out there in the outfield. So even if you get one in the air, you've got a lot of height you've got to clear, and particularly in right field.
This one headed towards right and foul ground. Horn, Levi running and just out of his reach by about 3 or 4 feet. When pushing everything to right field. So they'll restart the signs and another chance for Nigo to put the ball in play. Nimitz on the year, 13-14-1. And again, coming off a 15-3 win over DeSoto. As Vegan takes the short lead, Griffin throws a swing and a miss. First base occupied, and Nigo is down on strikes. First strikeout for Griffin. And now the top of the order, Saul Garcia. Grounded out to short his first time up. Leads the team in hits with 30. And the junior slaps one through the left side. So Garcia with base hit number 31 and runners on first and second for Nimitz.
Well, it didn't take Saul long to jump on the Griffin pitch. And one of the few times we've seen someone pull it tonight, right between Marufo and Salas, between short and third base, and they've got the infield in, John.
Yeah, everyone coming in, Salas and Marufo on the left side. Martinez hit by a pitch his first time up. So still batting .260 on the year. 1 out, 2 runners on base here in the home half of the third. To the left side. Salas backhand, smothers it, throws, and what a close play at second, and he is safe. Garcia able to get there before the foot tag of Boren.
John, a great play by Salas not to let that one go to the outfield, but I don't think Boren expected him to make the catch because the second baseman wasn't on the bag. See, he's off the bag and then has to find the bag with the left foot, and by then it's too late. So
Well, the base is now loaded.
again, first pitch swinging by the Viking hitters.
They like it, they're going to jump on it. And Jacob Castro steps in with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third, no score.
I don't think Griffin is throwing as many breaking pitches here in this inning.
First pitch swinging, and that's one pushed out of play, almost in the middle of the street. So a chance here for the Vikings to break on top. Castro stranded at third back in the first inning. That pitch low and outside. Came in batting .268. Has 22 hits on the year.
Let's see if Griffin goes back to the breaking pitch. Haven't seen a lot of it. Now here he is with the bases loaded. Does he have confidence in it?
He throws the breaking, crossed him up. Nice off-speed pitch. And way out in front of it, Castro.
I don't think Castro thought he was going to come with it. Obviously, the timing wasn't there.
Nope. Vegan takes his lead in foul ground at third. There he is, number 14. Griffin set at the belt, and the pitch swung on, hit through the right side. Vegan will score. They'll hold the runner at third, and the Vikings break on top 1-0.
Nice bit of hitting by Jacob Castro. Just going with the pitch. Let's see if he goes to the breaking ball again. This went to the outside edge. Pinch running will be number 5, which is Nicholson. So Nicholson, the pitch runner, but Castro with the RBI, his 8th of district. And the thing for Nimitz, bases stay loaded.
Jordan Nicholson, the runner at first. Brandon Ross is the batter, in the first pitch beneath the hands. Rounded out to the pitcher. His first time up. 1-0 Nimitz on top. Base is still juiced. Ross is ready. Here's the pitch. Swings and lines one into right field. Horn picks it up. 1 run scores. 2 will cross home. And runners on first and third. Garcia and Martinez both scored. RBIs number 19 and 20 for Brandon Ross.
Ross, who was the batting hero the last time we saw him on ICTN, going 2 for 3. Hits a fastball again on the outside part of the plate. Wasn't really a bad pitch. It was just the fact that Ross went with it. And with the guys running, as you see there, coming across Martinez, number 7, with the 3rd run in a big inning for the Vikings there in the bottom of the 3rd.
Nicholson all the way over to third. And here's Matthew Martinez, the catcher. 1 out here in the inning. Swings and sends this one out of play. Flight out to center. Back in the second. Came in hitting .321 with 6 RBIs and a couple of doubles. So Griffin has been touched for 3 runs, chases one outside. And the count at 0-2.
Remember, here's a guy from Mac that came in with an ERA of under 2.
One of these runs will be unearned, the error charge to Boren earlier in the inning. That one in the dirt and stopped nicely by Torres.
Griffin, though, the workhorse of this pitching staff, pitching probably, 2.5 times more innings than anyone else on the staff, with over 50 coming in.
He's set. Here's a pitch. And that one right over the middle and caught looking is Martinez. And the second strikeout for Griffin, but because of the error, they have to in essence, get 4 outs in this inning. That would have been the 3rd out, and here's Greg Muskarnik, the 3rd baseman.
Griffin, who had sometimes trouble with that breaking pitch. Well, on the last batter, Martinez, that was perfect across the middle and just dropped.
Looks at that one, and it misses outside.
Watch again. Just zoom. You see it, now you see it, now you don't.
Locked him up.
Yep.
3 runs home. 8 batters so far have come to the plate. That one got the outside edge. And the count even at 1. That was the 41st pitch for Alan Griffin tonight. Over but low. And the count at 2-1.
Thing about this sport, both the pitcher and the batter, you have to have a lot of patience. You can't let missed strikes that you thought was across the plate bother you too much, because you got to come right back on the very next pitch and try to make it count the next time.
Try to prevent any further run damage. There's a look. You saw the low setting sun in the west. Bounces away, and Nicholson will score standing. It's 4-0. Over to 3rd. Did he get him? He got him. Ross is out at 3rd on the Marufo tag, but Nicholson scores. And there is your inning. 4 runs come across for the Vikings on 3 hits, 1 error. And our score is a 4-0. This breaking pitch eludes Torres.
It just didn't bounce. It didn't get the high enough bounce, I think, that Torres thought it would get.
It just caught the leading edge of the plate.
Yeah, it went straight. It didn't pop up at all, and then Torres kind of lost it, and then you see Ross there in your picture trying to go from 1st to 3rd. I think Ross will be the first to tell you he's not the fastest guy out there, and that's might have been a stretch trying to take 2 bases on a pass ball like that, but he saw the catcher a little confused on where it was actually located, and he thought he could stretch that into 2 bases.
But Jordan Nicholson scoring well ahead of Ross for that 4th run, and a nice 4-run lead now for pitcher Jacob Castro.
Again, John, a big inning for Nimitz.
It comes in bunches. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Cards here in the top of the 4th inning. Alan Griffin, the opposing pitcher, to lead it off. He's had a good year at the plate, batting over .350. And the first pitch low to Griffin. Reached on a throwing error back in the 1st. Was caught stealing for the 3rd out in that first frame. Junior Jacob Castro throws, hit hard, in and out of the glove of Muskarnik, recovers, throw, and in time by a step and a half to get Griffin. Corner to corner as Muskarnik sends one over to Ross.
Boy, talk about keeping with it and not getting rattled. And that's the 3rd baseman.
Levi Horn up for the 2nd time. And takes ball 1 from Castro. Levi, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd. His team down 4-0. In the air, playable, center field. Martinez will catch up with it. And one-hands it. Hey, had to take a second look there. I know he had plenty of room, but.
That was a long run.
Yeah.
Long run for Alex. I kept waiting for Vegan, the right fielder, to break into the picture. There he is finally, and it almost took the glove off his hand. He's like, okay, I got it. It's cool.
2 outs. And here's the catcher, Junior Torres. That's the 5th fly ball out tonight. Off of the bats of Mac. Swings and misses on a pitch low and away. Junior walked and got as far as second back in the second inning. Came in batting over 300, 302 to be exact. One of 3 sophomores. Breaking pitch outside. And the 2-1 pitch, a comebacker off of the mound, headed to center field, but cut off by Garcia, and the throw in time. That ball redirected off of the side of the mound, and Saul Garcia stayed with it. And a nice throw over to Brandon Ross to get Junior Torres.
I got to be honest with you, John. I was ready to write down base hit in the scorebook, and all of a sudden I looked up, and there was Garcia behind the mound with a great field and a great throw. Look at this. I thought it was a base hit for sure. He's almost at second base, the side of the bag, and then got him with plenty of room. Watch again with the bounce off the mound. Good move. Range to his left and the put out, and the inning is over. So for Jacob Castro and company, they've done a fine job defensively of keeping MacArthur off the bases, and when they're on the bases, keeping them in check as it's time for the bottom of the 3rd inning stretch. And John's favorite song by the Village People, the YMCA.
I didn't get the album, but I got the 45.
Man, back in the day, I'd play those dances. I've got the albums.
Since this is our last telecast before September, we've got some work to do on our Boys Player of the Year and our Girls Player of the Year. You'll be entertained by our selections. We put some heavy thought into it.
I'm good with it.
Oh, yeah, 2 good choices.
Absolutely.
Home half of the 4th. And Alan Griffin's first pitch, just beneath the knees. Greg Muskarnik. Then John McDuffie and Chad Vegan here in the 4th. Pitch on the outside, Black. Griffin so far has allowed 3 hits, 4 runs. He struck out 2 and hit a batter. That one beneath the head of Muskarnik, who had to duck down. There's a buzz bomb here. Pitch is slapped to the left side. Salas, cut in front of the second base. Boren. And the throw is not in time to get Muskarnik.
That was almost the opposite of what we saw to end the inning. This time it was the second baseman going in front of the shortstop. Shortstop said, oh, wait. Traditionally, John, you'd think that was the shortstop's ball to catch.
Salas, he thought so too, and Greg beats it out, and here's John McDuffie, the designated hitter. And McDuffie watches one miss up high from Alan Griffin. So Muskarnik beat it out. Give him a hit. Popped up behind home. Torres towards a backstop, makes a sliding attempt and is shaken up at the bottom of the brick.
I can see why, just because of the brick. I don't recall any padding. Yeah, you see the padding directly behind home, but let's see if he slides into the pad. No, he does not have padding to go with there. It's nothing but brick. Watch the replay, and yeah, the left forearm goes on top of it, and I think that's what shook him up a little bit right there.
Nice effort anyway by Junior Torres. Has to rearrange himself. McDuffie, the DH, with a 1-1 count. Watches one down low, and it's 2-1. Chad Vegan on deck.
last play by Torres reminds me of when an outfielder goes up against the fence and you don't know how close you are and you end up running into it.
This one top foul, wide of third. Yeah, those are the plays. Late reaction about 3 seconds later. Ouch. I knew it was going to hurt. McDuffie popped out to short. His first time up. Maskarnik, the runner at first, and the pitch is swung on, an infield ground ball fielded by Griffin, and a short toss to Sanchez in time. It'll move Greg Maskarnik up to second. Just got underneath it and tapped it back to Alan Griffin for the first out.
You know, being down by 4 runs, I think a lot of players might have looked over to second base to try to get that lead runner to get the force out, but I think Griffin made the right choice with just getting that sure out at first.
Well, yeah, you think about it, when they come to bat, it'll be the 5th inning. This one in the air to center field, playable for Jacob Kinzer. He's there, makes the catch, and back to second goes Maskarnik. Point is, I mean, you're playing with those outs now for Mac. Innings 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah,
9 outs to play with. Marcus Nigo, the batter. Griffin will turn, look at second. The pitch is swung on a missed. Marcus went down on strikes in the 3rd. Vikings sent 8 to the plate. 2 outs here in the 4th. And Griffin throws that one on the outside corner, knee high.
He has really worked that outside part of the plate. Not a lot of those breaking pitches have worked for him, but the fastballs have. His really good stuff breaking ball wise is this one that looks like it's going to be high and just falls right off and goes like something like that. It's not going to be called, but
time called at the plate. So the count holds at 0-2 on the number 9 hitter, Marcus Nigo. Sophomore. Pitch is fouled straight back. Just got a piece of it on a pitch about letter high. Cards came in with a staff ERA of under 4. Griffin started with an ERA of 1.93, a record of 2-5. Throws and blocks by Torres. He's worked over 50 innings now on the year. He's set. And the pitch on the inside corner, and Nigo is called out on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Alan Griffin. For the Vikings, they leave a runner at second, but they lead the Cardinals to the tune of 4-0. We'll break on our ICTN District 7 6A Game of the Week. Four innings in the books, and the Vikings of Nimitz lead the Cardinals of Mac 4-0. As he was saying, he used to spin gold, and now he throws down gold. Rob Willman.
Thanks, Johnny. As we hit the top of the 5th, and for Cardinal fans, you got to think we got to start getting some base hits. First ball swinging. Boy, one that just dives in front of the feet of Nico, but he's there for the putout. And there's one down as Sanchez Just sends a sinking line drive into left field, swinging at the first pitch off of Castro. Each pitcher over 50 pitches so far in this ball game. You can go 100. That's the new UIL rule. First pitch in the dirt to Edgar Salas, the shortstop. He's been busy in the field of plays, made some really nice plays defensively as a shortstop. Ironically, he grounded out to short back in the second inning. The 1-0 offering a fastball high and away, and the count is even at 1 apiece. Nimitz has Mac one more time to finish out the season. Irving is playing Cedar Hill. The Gophers have Duncanville. All Nimitz has to do is win one of these. There's a pop to the first baseman, Ross, with the put out, and there's 2 down.
Playing the wind and had about 8 feet to play with in foul ground.
I don't feel the wind as much.
I don't either now.
Here as the sun has gone down, but I think it's just shifted. And instead of blowing straight in, it's blowing more left field to right field. Tanner Franco singled. Only base hit of the night for these Cardinals, and that was back in the third.
Do you look at the tops of the trees or do you look at the flag?
I'm looking at the flag. Yeah, flag's out there. It's blowing. Not quite as much as in the past. It's funny, we have like a little 4-foot windmill in our backyard on one end of the house, the backyard. The other end, you have one of those that are like a whirlybird. It's 2 going in opposite directions, like a half moon, if you will. And it's funny to see the different ends of the backyard, how one is blowing in one direction, maybe one's not blowing at all, how it swirls around. Ground ball. Garcia waits on it. And that's the inning. 1, 2, 3 for Castro. What a job here in the 5th. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Nimitz holding on to a 4-0 lead. Boy, we've got awards and everything else to give out tonight. Let's start with our first one of the night, Mr. Nelson, and let's go with the Bob Berry All Sports Award.
Cardinals take it, 47 total points. Nimitz finishing second. And school only has about a month left. Irving finished in third in the All Sports Award. So congratulations to the Cardinals of MacArthur. Well, Castro's done a nice job. Robbie's retired the last 9, and a little early celebration for the Vikings.
Oh, it's their bottom of the 5th inning routine. You know, like we used to have at the ballpark in Arlington in the bottom of the 7th. The Cotton Eye Joe, remember that back in the day?
They still do it. Middle of the 7th. I was about to say does that drive a cat crazy? On your windmills?
Oh, she just looks at it and goes on like, nah. But it is ironic just how the wind will swirl around, and we've seen that tonight as well. We go to the top of the order, and Saul Garcia, the shortstop, 1 out of 2, single, and scored a run in that big 3rd inning. That's what these Vikings do. They come up with one big inning, and tonight it's been the 3rd inning. Fastball strike called for Griffin.
Griffin's been able to get the leadoff batter 2 of the first 4 innings.
Goes down low, and Torres has to dig that one out. If you're the guy called upon to catch Griffin, you're going to have a lot of breaking pitches that you're going to have to dig out of the dirt. You're not going to have a clean uniform behind home plate. 3-1, and now Griffin 1 pitch away from walking the leadoff batter here in the 5th, and he does.
His first walk. Alan Griffin on the year, walk number 21.
Would you call that a cardinal sin? Ba-dum-bum.
What do you think about that?
Walking the leadoff batter. Where's the laugh track when you need it?
Waiting for the white smoke to appear.
Alex Martinez up. Hit by a pitch, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. And with Nimitz already up by 4, wouldn't surprise me to see Coach Somwang maybe try to manufacture a run here in the 5th. Give them one more cushion. Fake the bunt. That is low. If you get the 5th run, then that takes the grand slam out of the equation as far as tying the ball game up. You know how this game of baseball is. You start thinking of all sorts of combinations.
Home plate being dusted off. Thought he was going to do that last inning. Could barely see it with a wind and all the action around home plate. And decision time now for the Cards. They got to work to get Martinez, who reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. So he put the ball in play his last time, but you don't want to have Garcia get in scoring position. Got to be kind of worried about what he does at first base.
So Ryan Canan decides to leave Griffin in. I do not see anybody in the bullpen warming up. Second batter. That's a strike on the outside as he made a motion to bunt. You know, not all the trips to the plate or what you may think about the coach telling the pitcher about pitches. It might be situations. Right back to the pitcher. This time he's going to go to second, and they get the force out.
So Garcia out.
Martinez the fielder's choice, but he hit that one just a little too hard. He gave Griffin time to get the lead runner.
Failed to advance the runner in the only play, and the nice throw by Griffin.
So there's one down. Martinez stays in the game to run. That is outside to Jacob Castro. Singled in the third, picked up an RBI. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Hits this one high, out of play.
Headed this way.
Oop, yeah, bounce right back toward us. Stay away from the ruby red Mustang.
Oh, he had a good 90 feet of clearance. Bounced on the sidewalk and back into the seats.
Keep an eye on Martinez at first. Big lead, nothing more than that. Breaking ball high. Didn't break enough for Allen. Falls behind 2-1. South Grand Prairie, a 20-game winning team this year, yet to lose a district game. As this one is hit high around the shortstop area. It gets turned around, the wind takes a hold of it, and it falls in. Do they get the force out at second? Yes, they do. Salas lost it, either lost it or the wind pushed it toward the right field side of second base, and a heads-up play in the outfield to get the lead runner, Martinez.
Now that's going to be scored a fielder's choice. The play at second. Oh, that's so close, but just in time. So that's a fielder's choice for Castro. They get the out, and now 2 down.
Of course, not an infield fly rule. I mean, if you're the base runner, there's not a lot you could do.
No, he had to take off.
Yeah.
That was trouble as soon as it left the bat. That wind turned it around and pushed it, oh gosh, at least 70 feet the other way.
Now Ross back to the plate. Boy, he had a good at bat. Knocked in 2 in the third inning with a base hit. Went opposite field. Plated a couple of runs and broke the game open. Kind of an inside-out swing for the first baseman. It goes out of play.
Off the hill and down to the bottom.
Ross, your cleanup hitter. Looking for his 10th RBI of the season. in district play. It's a good count for Brandon. Ahead 2-1, base runner on at first. He's going to take off on anything hit with 2 outs. Torres does a heck of a job to keep that one from going to the backstop, and he looks tired. He looks tired and worn down, John.
Beaten up.
He's like, you know, I'm going to call time to take a breather. And in fact, you watched him there kind of double up a little bit, and Griffin's like, hey, dude, if you're not feeling well, let us know. Let's see if this one bounces up. Yep, bounced him up and hit him in a bad spot. That'll bring anybody to your knees.
Vikings won both games last year. They have a 4-run lead here tonight.
Fastball on the outside corner, and the count is now full.
Boy, he'd like to have that pitch back. Steps out. Ross.
That was right on the outside part of the plate. Ross thought a little too far outside. Torres says, give me some more signals, coach. You see there, Torres looks at his coach, looks at the sheet there, his cheat sheet, if you will, on his forearm, and then calls the pitch. And it works. They throw down to first, and the inning is over. So a strikeout, 2 of 3 to put out, his 4th strikeout now for Griffin. And folks, we have finished 5 complete innings of baseball. We are down to the 6th with Nimitz commanding on to a 4-0 lead. So we've highlighted who we thought was the best school, and you know, based on the points, even though MacArthur really didn't have a good football team this year, they made it up in other areas. Now we get to pick our best male and female athlete of the year. John, take it away.
Our Lance Brown Player of the Year for the boys, running back Mark Eugene of Nimitz. Mark really slowed by injuries most of the year. All district, still rushed for over 1,000 yards and scored 12 touchdowns. Averaged 7 yards every time he touched the ball this past fall, and had a career high 293 yards of rushing and 5 TDs against Richardson Pierce last September. Our Lance Brown Boys Player of the Year, Nimitz running back Mark Eugene.
He was fun to watch, and he's on a team that really, they didn't have a high-octane passing attack, so they really had to rely on him as a runner. You know, by about the 3rd week, you know, scouts and teams realized it's going to be Eugene right, Eugene left, and he still, with great explosiveness, picked up the yards. He was fun to watch coming out of the backfield this year.
In fact, he'll play at Navarro College in Corsicana, the Navarro College Bulldogs next year.
Stadium right across the street from the junior college. They're on the main drag in Corsicana. That is a strike. It's 0-2 now to Daniel Hernandez, the lefty DH, here in the top of the 6th inning. And the at-bats are running out for the Redbirds, who are trying to hold on and make something and make postseason in this crazy district that has pretty much everybody but South and the Eagles of DeSoto. You know what's going to happen. South is already clinched. They've got the district title. DeSoto hadn't won a game all year, so they're X them out. But everyone else, in some way or another, in contention as the last 2 games of the district season unfolds. That is low. And after being ahead on the count, 2 straight balls thrown by Castro.
Nimitz, if they split their series with Mac, they're in postseason. They'd love to win this game tonight and end all doubt.
Garcia, long throw. Got him by a step.
Hernandez took a tumble as he crossed the bag. About as close a play as you can have at first. And Hernandez is out 6-3.
In district play, it's been Brandon Ross and Jacob Castro, the 1-2 punch on the mound, both with just over 2-run ERAs overall in the season. They've almost pitched identical innings coming into tonight's game.
10 in a row now put down by Castro.
Ross had 54 Ks and Castro 36 coming into the game, 39 overall now. And this one's hit to right, a liner to the right fielder. Vegan is there. Vegan's like, man, I didn't think I'd get so much action out here.
It was sinking fast, and Vegan with a nice low grab. That's his fourth put out.
You bet, twice to Boren. And we go to the number 2 batter, and Marufo, the third baseman, who also lined out to right field early in the ball game. So 2 down very quickly here in the 6th inning, and a called strike to the third baseman.
Cards now down to their last 4 outs.
Tell you what a job Castro has done tonight. No one has made it past second base. He's given up just 1 base hit. It's a fastball high. Been in command on practically every pitch. 1 walk tonight. Fastball right down the pipe for a called strike, and we're even at 2-2. Really good pitching job. Boy, the last 2 weeks here on ICTN, we've seen some really nice pitching performances here in baseball. Swung on. Strikeout number 4. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, but the Vikings still in command by a score of 4-0.
12 in a row put down by Castro, and they feel they've got it tonight on top, 4-0.
Well, John, in the last break, we talked about the outstanding male athlete of the year picked by our ICTN staff. Now let's talk about the Lance Brown female player of the year.
Well, that would be Mac's own Sarah Andrews, first freshman to be the Lance Brown player of the year. 5'7" Andrews averaged 16 points a game, led the Lady Cards in assists, steals, and 3-point shooting this past year. And on top of that, was selected to the 2017 USA Basketball Under-16 team trials in Colorado Springs next month. If picked to be part of the 12-man team, Sarah would play in the FIBA Under-16 America's Championships this coming June in Argentina. So congratulations to our Lance Brown Players of the Year winners, Mark Eugene and Sarah Andrews.
Sarah, a freshman, boy, we'll see her grow up just like the long line of point guards that Susie has coached at MacArthur High School, and can't wait to see how well she has developed on the court during the summer break, because just like baseball, all these athletes today, nobody takes a break like we did when we were kids. They keep playing. Camp.
We're going to take a 4-month break.
Sure. We deserve it. We're tired. First pitch misses. It will be Matthew Martinez, Greg Masarnik, and John McDuffie, scheduled 3 for Nimitz in the bottom of the 6th, with Franco needing 3 more outs to guarantee a little postseason excitement for the Vikings. Fastball right up the middle. Salas loses the handle. Maybe a lack of concentration, trying to think about throwing before he actually had the ball in the wicket. So that's an E6. And Maskiernik up, number 18, the third baseman. Single in the 4th, grounded out to short in the 2nd. Fastball outside corner, called strike.
And they're still coming in.
Fans still want a shot at enjoying the atmosphere tonight. Really a good crowd, both sides packed in pretty good, standing room only. Maybe Someone got wind of the dollar hot dogs? I don't know.
About a mile away.
There you are. Take a look at some of the fans behind home plate. And the 0-2 curveball, strike 3 looking. 5th strikeout.
Designated hitter John McDuffie.
So 1 down and McDuffie up. Unlike against Irving, it was the top of the order really producing here tonight for Nimitz. Fastball outside, but low. And it's 1-0.
Damage done in the 3rd inning when the Vikes scored 4 runs on 3 hits.
That's a strike called on the inside corner. One of the few times I think that Griffin has been able to exploit the inside of the plate. Most of his damage has been the breaking ball and the fastball on the outside. As Martinez gets back on the bag, Sanchez holding him on at first. Thought he was running at first. You heard the screams from the bench. But all that Martinez was doing was the double fake.
Went about 4 feet and headed right back to first base.
Put on the brakes. Breaking ball outside corner called, strike 2-2. Be a tough one for Griffin to lose. You look at what he's done so far. It's that 3rd inning where the Vikings took advantage and really served up the first pitch swing as McDuffie goes down swinging. It was that first ball swing that the Vikings just took advantage of in the 3rd.
Exactly, that one. McDuffie well over the top. He's mixed up his pitch as well. You're right, Rob. He's done a pretty good job tonight, the senior Griffin. Walked just one of those runs in the 3rd. There was an error in that inning. Didn't help things.
Walked one and hit a batter. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, slice to right. Can Kinzer get there? No. He gives chase, picks it up before the wall. Martinez rounds 3rd, and the coach says, put on your brakes. And he slides back in just underneath the throw on the tag. So the Vikings have runners at 2nd and 3rd. Martinez gets up a little gingerly, but boy, Vegan took advantage of that one, didn't he?
He got all of that. It plugs the gap between Kinzer and Horn. And the first double for Vegan.
Yeah, he hit that well. That's good for Vegan. Here's a guy that hadn't got a lot of at-bats and then took advantage of what was given him with the injury.
Martinez hit hard trying to get back to 3rd.
Luckily, he had the helmet on because he hit the player's knee when he slid back. We have a substitution. Ian McClure will pinch hit.
Yeah, he hit the right knee of Marufo at 3rd. Shake out the cobwebs, and McClure hitting for Nego here.
Only his 10th game here in district. Batting about 175 in district play.
One of 6 seniors.
Yep. Looking for his first RBI in district. Come at a good time here with 2 on and 2 out. Comes up empty, maybe swinging for the fence there. The 2 outs here in the 6th have both been strikeouts. But the majority of all the hits for Nimitz have been from center over to right. They've gone with the pitch. Strike 2. And now McClure, one swing away from ending this 6th inning. He's taking his cuts.
No, he hadn't been cheated. That's one thing up there swinging.
And he goes down, the 6th strikeout of the evening for Griffin, but can the bats come to life? We finished 6, got 1 to go. Be right back in a moment. if you thought the standings were up for grabs and playoffs up for grabs in our district, let's look at 8-6A, where Waco Midway and San Angelo Central are both 9-3. Then Harker Heights at 8-4. Then you got 3 teams at 6-6. It's all up for grabs there as well, coming down to the last 2 ball games of the regular season.
Panthers and the Bobcats tied for first in that 8-6A district.
There's a young fan, all content. Got their little stuffed animal with them.
And 3 outs to go.
So let's see if Castro can shut the door on tonight's ball game as he faces his counterpart, Alan Griffin, here in the 7th.
Has retired the last 12. Tanner Franco, the last batter to reach base for Mac.
Hit well in the gap. Center fielder gives chase. Oh, and he pulls back to get it, Alex Martinez. Martinez had to battle the wind a little bit there as he thought he had a beat on it in the gap, and then at the last minute, he had to reach backwards.
It has been an adventure. This one about as high as you can hit it. It turns Martinez around, reaches back behind him, and falls down, still has it in the webbing, and the Cards down to their final 2 outs.
That's twice tonight for Martinez, giving chase the last time in the right corner.
13 in a row now put down by Castro.
Levi Horn up 0 for 2. What a great job again by Castro tonight. Keeping the batters off the bases, getting some good plays defensively, and just pretty much in control from the get-go.
Trying to paint that outside corner, didn't get it.
Minus that very first pitch. Fastball hit high behind the plate. Martinez gives chase. Can't get it.
It can make one dizzy tonight.
Oh, makes me dizzy trying to keep up with him.
Well, you kind of know it's your night, Rob, when a base hit was taken away from Ricky Boren back in the first.
Yeah, first pitch, folks.
Yeah.
If you missed it right at the beginning of the game, Boren hit the very first pitch that Castro offered. Unbeknownst to both the pitcher and batter, the base umpire had called time to get the players back inside the dugout on the first base side. And after that, it's been clear sailing. Curveball tipped, kept alive by Horn. New baseball out to Castro. Castro will, unless for some reason, and you know everything is still up in the air, he will probably be the ace for this team. Called upon for game 1 in postseason. Now, if everything doesn't finish out equally, as this is grounded to second, Cruz down to his knee, and there's 2 outs.
And he'll be back next year.
If for some reason the Vikings have to do a playoff game, I think, you know, because the playoffs start pretty quickly next week, you wouldn't want to use up your pitcher for a seeding. It might come down to the coaches just going to the flip of the coin if there's a tie on who is second, third, perhaps fourth. We all know the Warriors will be first. 1 out away for Nimitz securing another trip to postseason outside, and it's 2-0. This game started with Castro throwing like somebody all wound up. He was very quick. Fastball hit to center. Martinez over, he's got it. And that's the ball game.
He retired the last 15. Nimitz has now won the last 9 games in this series, and they're in postseason.
So the Vikings, with the 1-hit shutout by Jacob Castro, finished the season on ICTN with the 4-0 win over their arch rivals, the MacArthur Cardinals. It's been a fun year on ICTN. We've seen a lot of great games, and some great individual performances. But that'll do it for now. For the entire ICTN crew, John Nelson, I'm Rob Willman. We will see you in the fall.